This isn't possible. No one can control Dark Energon. It dominates and destroys everything it touches.
I am the Dominator. I am the Destroyer. I am Megatron!
Everyone gather round. It's time to go and see the show. It's time to talk about some more toys, don't you know? And this time we are, of course, talking about the Flame Toys Megatron IDW Decepticon version model kit. Big Transformers boy. So normally I'm not a fan of getting Transformers that don't transform, but I thought I made an exception for this because he looks rad and I like model kits. Also love Decepticons, as you knew from the last video. So these boxes from, this is not made by Bandai like the rest of them. This is made by Flame Toys. And so the box is a little different. We've got just Transformers. This is officially licensed. We don't have as many product shots on here, but there he is. Looking all cool and stuff. And then, same thing on this side. There's more of that hellscape art right there. Try to see this through the glare of my lights. And just some product shots on the back. Nothing major. That's the box. Let's get them open and build them. So this is him. Yeah, well, he looks good. But there's a lot of tension problems. Yeah, and his arms are pretty okay. They can hold the pose pretty well. You know, you can kind of fudge it. He can actually hold positions pretty well, but like these legs, they are absolutely worth nothing. And this ab crunch just, they don't work that well. So in the spirit of continual learning on how to do a Gundam, we're gonna try to tighten up these joints. So yep, there's that. Got his knee back together. They are working much better. As you can see, he can actually at least kind of hold up. Doesn't absolutely just, well, sometimes he does. That's okay, it's at least better. He can actually stand on his own 2 feet. He doesn't just, he's got a little bit more solid to him. Not a whole lot though. It still feels, I don't know what the word is, just loose. It feels fiddly. It doesn't feel as solid as especially recent Gundams I've been putting together. But he is an awesome Megatron. Got the nice little swirly titty thing. I did that with Tamiya panel accent liner. Just dip the stuff in there and makes it way easier to hit these lines. And then painted in there as well. And all I did with that was used some Gundam markers, basically just made a pool of white paint in there, and I just kind of kept swirling and swirling the gun barrel around while the paint dried, and then I did the same thing with the metallic red, and it didn't come out too bad. All in all, I also kept the stickers as minimal as I can. There's a lot of them that you're supposed to use stickers for. Some of these pieces I just decided to fill in with paint, marker, or just Sharpie, whatever. Including, for some reason, actually, here's the sticker sheet. Never mind, that sticker sheet's gone. I don't know where that's at. But they have like stickers that you could have used for these titty pieces. They also have some versions they can come with. They get them the Autobot sticker, because this is based off of the IDW version, which is a specific comic book look. All in all, this is very clearly a Megatron. And you get some of the classic flares, like the gun barrel that sticks up here and stuff like that. It's fusion cannon, the red tummy and stuff like that. He just happens to not like to transform, is all. He's got the bits as if he could. Tank treads, stuff like that. Some definite big positives about him is that these hips are rock solid. Everything is built into each other, so like this hip assembly sandwiches around this thing right here that like would normally just be a polycap on most other Gundams that would just slide in and out, but it's actually screwed in there, as you saw right here. Yeah, you see, remember that? Yeah, so it's actually just, this thing is completely screwed on, and then yeah, the sandwiches right there, you can see that sandwiches on there, so it's sandwiches on a sandwich. So that's the one thing that's like, you know, with this is like you're not going to have that thing that happens with most Gundams where like you're trying to move his leg right and you just slide it right off. He doesn't have a lot of articulation. It's weird, he has giant feet but still has a lot of balancing issues, and it might be because this toe's a little floppy, but like there's also this weird thing it does where like you can pull out and like you pull out his ankle right here, like watch, you can see it. Like it's obviously a feature, but like I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. You don't get any more toe bend really or anything like that. So that's as far as it goes forward with it in, out, and then in. Like you get like nothing more. So I don't know why they bothered with that at all. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I'm sure like when they thought of it, like, oh yeah, it'll be cool. They have this thing. They have a 2-section foot. That way you can do a lot of toe arches. But like then they just immediately put everything right back in the way. So even if they wanted to, it can't. Yeah, weird. But then the other good thing is that the shoulders are like, I am pulling real hard. They're pretty solid, but then whenever I actually want to get it off, I can. And they're in 3 sections, so like you got this really long, nice peg here, so things doesn't happen to fall off by accident. And then the shoulder and the arm lock up in a real interesting way to where the shoulder pad and everything assembly clips on to the arm, and then that all gets pushed together. Once you clip that on there, then it all syncs up, kind of works together. These shoulder pads kind of get in the way of some stuff, but that's kind of more of a limitation on the design that they had to work with rather than anything they can do anything about. But it is molded in a way to where the gun can be on either side. Okay, yeah, it just slides in. Yeah, it's a nice solid connection. Yeah, it can go on either side there. But obviously this is the correct and proper side, so that's the side it stays on. He has 2 sets of hands. When you pull off his fists to swap them out, for some reason this little thing comes with it. I don't know if it's meant to be like that, but it makes it hold on tight. And then you can just slide it on to the hand, right on, and give him some grand speech poses and stuff like that. And he comes with a second one for this hand as well. Now you can have double big grand speech action. All in all, good looking. But I did want to start doing something with this. Here he is with just regular old high grade Granddaddy RX-78-2. And here he is with, I don't have any master grades build yet, but a 1/100 scale Gundam Barbatos. You can see he's a little bit bigger. Honestly, I think that would put him at about master grade size scale. We're trying to actually scale out how big he would be. That'd be about right if you got the guy in the cockpit right there compared to how big Megatron is. So he's about 1/100 scale if we're actually going for that sort of thing. But the more important comparison is as you look next to another Megatron. I just grabbed a random one out of my collection that has the titty hairs. Probably the one that looks the closest and probably has in my collection that has the same kind of inspiration. The IDW tank. So he's about on par with how big they usually make those. But then there's also another one that he's in scale, or that we can compare him to. And that's my boy, Rider Despotron, which is a third-party release of Megatron, and he is a boy. Ooh. He's a video for another day, but you can see that these are definitely both drawing inspiration from the same source, of just how similar they look. Because normally, I actually get a lot of variants in Megatron. Sometimes it's green and purple and black and stuff, but I really like the classic silvery big cannon Megatron. That's my Megatron. Found those stickers. There they are. See, I only end up using 3 of them. I actually don't know where some of these are supposed to go. The instructions don't say what to do with these things, these little red bits. I mean, you can kind of guess where these little black bits go, but like I didn't need that. I actually think that like one of them was supposed to go onto this bit right here, but like I don't want to put that there. Oh, speaking of this thing, what is this thing for? I mean, thank you, but like, I accidentally glued this thing, I think. See, this thing barely moves, but like, what is that for? Why does that move? I didn't need that. It's like a little slide assembly in there. I don't know why we need that to move, but okay, but thanks. And yeah, you can see you could have stickers for the titty hairs. So yeah, anyway, that's probably it. There's not a whole lot I can really say. His articulation is fine. I'm not going to have him doing too many dynamic poses because you can actually pull off some pretty graceful looking things. Somehow his body always kind of ends up in this state that it looks pretty natural for him to be in. I think it has to do with like just the overall good silhouette that he has, to where he can always kind of look like he's in the midst of a real motion. And that's actually something that is kind of hard with a lot of Gundams. They kind of end up always just kind of looking like crumpled up. Even then, I tried to just make him look like shit, and like he just looks like he got his ass whooped, which happens a lot. Even then, he looks good. I don't know. There was a long period while I was making this video where I just kind of wanted to have it done because I wasn't feeling it. Because like I said, he doesn't feel good in your hands, but like when it comes to like looking like a Megatron and invoking that grandeur and power, I'm getting a lot of appreciation just doing this video for him. Just like, yeah, the poses you can actually pull off, they might not be like the same kind of like battle tech, the battle stuff that you can do with other Gundams, but just like the range of like emotion that he kind of can express just posing him around. Let me get the classic shot of him standing proud and firing off a blast. Actually, the very sad thing is these shoulders really do get in the way of it. I don't know what they were thinking. but you can't have them just like straight up shoulder out like that. So you have to kind of fudge it around, which I guess is fine, but that does kind of break it up a little bit. And also, like, now this thing is now just kind of floppy. But anyway, pull that out of the way. Get rid of the power pose. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I think that's all we can say for Megatron. I'm gonna squeak out something a little bit faster, hoping for one a month going forward. So in that, I will probably already have the other review mostly done. And at that, I will see you next time.